Let's see if we can get your microphone to sound better. I'm Will, the homeschool DJ, and I started out as a sound guy, applied to work at a DJ booking agency, and learned a new application for audio engineering. A lot of DJs don't have a background like mine and struggle to get their vocal mic to sound clear. I'd like to give you a few tips that I picked up over the past couple years working with DJs. First tip is gain staging. If you're using a wireless microphone, you may have noticed that your voice sounds distorted or crunched like a guitar or a southern gospel preacher.
And he can do the same thing for
This is due to the gain of your mic being set too high. Gain and volume are not the same. Gain is signal strength, volume is how loud the channel goes out to the final master mix. If you turn the gain up too much, the signal becomes too strong for the mic preamp and clips the tips of the waveforms, causing the distorted sound you hear. No matter how low you turn the volume, it will always sound distorted. A simple and free solution to this is look at the back of your wireless microphone receiver. There should be a small recessed knob that you will need a flathead screwdriver to turn. If this knob is turned all the way clockwise, then your gain knob is set too high. Turn this knob counterclockwise to about noon. Test your mic to see if there's any improvement. You'll need to set this based on how loudly you speak. Some wireless mic systems have the gain setting in the digital menu on the front. Next, adjust your gain in your mixer to where you see green LEDs bouncing when you talk, but never red LEDs. Red LEDs indicate that your mixer's preamp is clipping the signal from the mic. Then adjust your volume fader to take. Next tip is your EQ knobs. I usually cut the low frequency a little to take out the muddiness of the mic. How much you cut depends on the mic, the distance you hold the mic from your mouth, and the mixer that you have. My mic sounds best when the low is cut to about 9 or 10 o'clock. Then I'll boost the mid-frequency knob to about 1 o'clock, and depending on feedback, I might boost or cut the high-frequency knob. Normally, I get screaming feedback, so I cut the high frequency. Next tip is the EQ on your speakers. Every speaker is different. I'll normally leave my speaker EQ flat or normal at the beginning of the wedding reception, and when the dancing starts, I'll boost the bass. You will have to find a setting that you like on your specific speaker. Keep in mind that vocal clarity sits around 1000 Hz, bass punch sits around 50 Hz, muddiness is around 250 Hz, boxiness is around 800 Hz, and sparkly frequencies are 2.9 kHz and above. Next tip is in regards to when you talk on the microphone. If you want to say something without cutting the music off, simply turn the mid-frequency knob on the music channel down as far as it will go. That should keep the music from occupying the same frequency as your voice, thereby separating your voice from the music, creating more clarity. This will keep the driving beat going as well as the high-end sparkly frequencies of the music. Many guests won't even notice the change, but I've gotten compliments on how clear my voice is over some other DJs they've heard. Something I see a lot of DJs doing that works well is turning the low pass filter down so that all you can hear of the music is the bass beat. This leaves room for your voice in the mid and high frequencies while keeping that beat going. This will, however, be noticed by your guests. There's nothing wrong with that, just another tool in your belt depending on what mood you're aiming for. But let's say you're in a venue with a lot of reverb. Guests are coming up to you and saying that they can't understand you when you are making announcements. The next tip is simple. Cut the music off completely every time you talk. In addition, count how many seconds the reverb lasts in the room. When you cut your music off, wait that many seconds before you start talking. For example, there is a wedding venue where we get constant complaints about it being hard to hear the toasts or the announcements or the preacher.
The family will appreciate you silencing your cell phone.
The reverb lasts for 2.6 seconds in that room. In order for anyone to understand me, I stop the music, wait 2.5 seconds, then say one sentence. I'll pause for 2.5 seconds, then say the next sentence and pause and so on. Then turn the music on when I'm done talking. This is grueling for an MC, I know, because it's our job to keep the vibe going. There's little to nothing you can do when a venue refuses to invest in acoustic treatment. One more thing you can do is tilt your speaker down. This tip only works for people that have that function in their cabinet. The QSC K12 has a twisting washer that offsets the hole to give you a 12-degree tilt. The K12.2 has a second hole with a slight tilt. I believe some EVs and JBL speakers have this function as well. This can be used for 3 purposes. If you're in a reverby room, you can direct less of your sound upwards at the ceiling. A typical 12-inch speaker will have about 90 degrees of coverage. If you can take some of that coverage off the ceiling, you could reduce the reverb slightly. Also, if you're up high above your crowd on a stage or a balcony, tilting your speaker down can give guests a better sound. Speakers have less mid-frequencies on the outer edges of their coverage. This can leave the audio sounding thin if your audience is far below or to the sides of you. And a third use for this tilt down function is when there are a bunch of people in the back of the room that want to talk. You want to focus your audio on the dance floor in front of you, but you don't want to throw the audio far to the back of the tent or room or neighbors. Tilting your speaker down can reduce the distance you throw your sound. This can be very bad in situations like the ceremony when you want the back row to be able to hear just as well as the front. In that case, you will want your speakers high above the heads of the guests. Then depending on the height, you can determine whether you want to tilt back down. The next tip is mic technique. I would encourage you to find a vocal coach that will teach you how to project your voice, as well as use proper mic technique.
Oh my.
Cupping the microphone is a problem that I see with inexperienced entertainers ranging from Kanye West to soccer mom talent show. When you cover the grill of the microphone, you cut off frequencies that are responsible for clarity of speech and focus other frequencies that are responsible for muddiness and screeching feedback. Holding the mic properly at the correct distance and angle can greatly improve clarity, volume, and feedback. Hold the mic by the handle. Don't shuffle or adjust your grip on the mic while it's unmuted. Hold the mic 4 to 8 inches from your mouth. Hold the mic at a 45-degree angle horizontally off to the side, pointed at the corner of your mouth. If you raise the mic up vertically, you get more nasally tones. If you lower the mic, you will get more muddy tones. Moving the mic up or down can compensate for poor clarity. I hope this gave you some ideas on how to improve your sound at your next event. Of course, I could have made this video a list of equipment that you could buy to solve these issues, but I believe that we should first master proper technique. And then if that doesn't fix the problem, then we get to buy shiny new gear. As a mobile DJ, we must adapt to whatever situation we're put in, and I hope this puts some tools in your belt to tackle new situations. Let's fill the comments with helpful tips that you've learned in your experience as a mobile DJ. Also, it would help push this video into the algorithm if you pressed a button down there. Thank you for watching.